Yeah. 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 Oh baby, what's good? What's good? Oh man. I'm still pumped up. This has been a great day, man. This has been a phenomenal day. How y'all doing, baby? How y'all doing? Oh man. Who's ready for some Sunday night football, baby? I damn sure know I am, bro. I'm still hyped. I'm still hyped from that afternoon slot we just got. It started off slow. I ain't gonna lie. It was about like we were getting through the third quarter. I was watching most of the games through Red Zone, and I was like, all right, I was disappointed. I'm like, this is kind of a boring afternoon slot. And then every game got to the fourth quarter, and then everything just went crazy. We, of course, had almost a reverse 28-3 win for the Falcons. We're just waiting for the game to start very soon. If this game ends up being even just half as good as the Cardinals-Raiders game alone, I will be perfectly happy. I will be perfectly happy. I will be perfectly okay with it. Because as a fan, I love it. I absolutely love it. But man, I'm just so hyped. I'm just so hyped. That got me in a good mood. The ending of that Cardinals Raiders game just got me in such a great mood. It just got me so much more excited. It got me so much more pumped. I just want the game to start already. I just want kickoff to start already. Y'all look great. I just wanted to start already. Oh, how selfish am I? I didn't even get the chance to properly introduce myself. Hello, I am Double Diesel. Welcome to the Sunday Night Football stream of the Sunday Night Football game Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers in this week 2 of the National Football League season. Oh, man. Oh, gosh, I'm so pumped. Also, again, my apologies that I wasn't able to get episode 1 of the Double Diesel Sports Pod out this week. I was really looking forward to it, but I ran into a couple of recording issues, didn't record properly, and I went to go re-record it, but I just got sick as a dog. Wasn't able to leave my bed for the most part. Thought it was COVID. Thankfully, it's not. Don't know how it wasn't, but thankfully it wasn't. And I'm still sort of feeling the after effects of it. I still have a bit of a dry cough that I get every now and then. I'm still a little congested. I don't know if it's noticeable or not. But I still have those things. So if in the middle of the stream I just randomly break out into a coughing fit, y'all just gonna have to forgive me for that. But yeah, man. Oh man. I'm just so excited. I just want this show to get on the road already. Now, we ran into some issues as far as the chat, and I found out the reason as to why. I found out that I did not know that if you had set it to made for kids, that it would just completely turn off comments and live chat. So it should be fixed now. I at least hope so, anyway. Because I would like to get a little interaction, a little audience participation. So I don't feel awkward just talking to myself. I mean, granted, that's what I do all the time anyway, but I don't mind talking to myself. But hey, just so I know that I'm improving and I know that the issue is in fact fixed. It should be. But yeah, man. But I will hopefully get episode 1 of the Double Diesel Sports Pod out this week. I will have it out Wednesday by noon at the latest. It will be up early for Patreon members. There's no one currently on there yet, but I will still have it up. But yeah, man, a lot of things to talk about from this week. I will dive deep into it more, obviously, during the podcast, but I will touch on some things throughout the stream when there's dead air, whether they're in a commercial break or whatnot. But we are edging close. We're edging closer to kickoff. And, I'm excited, but I'm also, scared because I'm, concerned that this isn't going to be as good as what we just witnessed in the late afternoon games. Told you. We'll try our best to ignore it. But. Man, here we go. Now, Chicago Bears. I did not see who won the coin toss. We will see who will get the ball first. They're just showing us the head coaches, respectively, for each team. Matt LaFleur for Green Bay, Matt Eberflus, rookie head coach for the Bears. And the Bears are kicking out, so the Packers will be on offense first in this game. And that is Amari Rodgers back to receive the opening kickoff. Santos is up, and we are underway in Green Bay, Wisconsin, as the kick goes out in the back of the end zone. So Packers are out. They came off of a rough week one. That's been the running theme for Green Bay over the past few years, really ever since LaFleur has become their head coach, where they come out of the gate week one and they just completely shit the bed. Nobody really knows why, because they end up getting it together as the season goes along. But that's just sort of been the running thing, and considering everything that's gone through in the offseason, it just seemed a little more evident. First down play, and it's a pitch to Aaron Jones, and he gets a modest 4, maybe 5-yard gain. Gets smacked hard by Roquan Smith. They'll bring up second down. There's a flag on the play. First play, first flag. Fitting. We're just waiting. Refs are convening right now. Wait to see what this is. And it's a chop. Ooh. And it's a penalty on the Chicago Bears. Personal foul on Chicago. That might be a fresh set of downs, yeah. But as I was saying, it was definitely more evident for Green Bay because considering that they traded Devontae Adams in the offseason. They lost a lot of key pieces in the offseason. Za'Darius Smith leaving in free agency, etc. And especially on the opposite side of the ball, none of the receivers stepped up. They're hoping to get more out of them this week. And we get another handoff to Aaron Jones after the fresh set of downs off the penalty, and he, once again, picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. But yeah, that's basically the theme for Green Bay coming into this week, is you hope that somebody on the opposite side of the ball can give Aaron some help, especially from the receiver spot, because the only one that he really has true chemistry with is Randall Cobb. And Alan Lazard, I believe he's still out. I think so. Because I don't see him on the field right now. It's 2nd and 6 for Green Bay. Rodgers fakes the handoff, and he throws it over the middle, and it is caught by Sammy Watkins for a first down. He's another one. Week 1, Sammy didn't show up last week. You'd figure, out of all the weeks of the year, over the past few years, Sammy Watkins in week 1 is one of the most dangerous players in football. Everyone knows this. And even he didn't show up last week, which was also kind of concerning, considering he was the quote-unquote big name free agent signing for Green Bay on the offensive side of the ball. So they're hoping that another game with Aaron Rodgers, they're going to hopefully get some more production out of him. 1st and 10, handoff to A.J. Dillon. He picks up about 3 yards. It's going to be a 2nd and 7 coming up as they introduce the Bears defense on the broadcast. So that's basically been the storyline for Green Bay coming into this game. I don't want to beat a dead horse and jump to crazy conclusions about the Packers, especially after week 1, knowing what they are in week 1 over the past few years. 2nd and 7 for the Packers. Rodgers takes the snap, and he's just going to throw it away in the direction of A.J. Dillon. Nobody was open. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long situation. First 3rd down of the game facing the Green Bay Packers. It was rookie Jaquan Brisker on the coverage there. So because I didn't put out a podcast last week, I'm assuming some of you want me to talk about, if we are going to talk about the Packers, Christian, 3rd and 7. And it's a 1st down to Allen Lazard, who is playing. My apologies, I wasn't entirely sure or not. But he picks up a 1st down inside the Chicago 30. So they're almost getting to the end zone. Or not the end zone, the red zone. Ugh, my brain doesn't work sometimes. But yes, Christian Watson from last week. Everyone's been roasting. When everyone's talking about the bad receiver play for Green Bay last week, the one play they always bring up is the horrible drop by Christian Watson, which was their first play in that game, first passing play in that game against Minnesota. It's another handoff to A.J. Dillon, and he goes nowhere on that. But I'm not going to overreact because while, yes, it was a terrible, terrible play, it was a rookie playing in their first game. Now, that's not something you want to see from a rookie that they traded up at the top of the 2nd round to get. But it is it's learning curves for sure. It's something that he's going to have to now learn to be like, all right, I got to move on from that. That's all I'll say about that because it's kind of old news, and it's a 2nd and 8 now. And oh my goodness, A.J. Dillon goes nowhere. He lost, I think, like 3 yards in that play. That's my stream. No. Okay. That's the only thing I don't like. I'm nervous of like my stream crashing, and I'm nervous about my stream not, or Hulu just randomly kicking me out. But oh my goodness. That was, oh my goodness. That play was going nowhere from the start. That was a 3-yard loss. It's now back to 3rd and 10. Rodgers takes a snap, and there's a whistle. It's going to be a false start. Looks like it. No, it's not a flag. It was timeout instead by the Packers. Some wasn't looking good for them. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's making some adjustments right there. So now it's a 3rd down situation, 3rd and 10. Packers call the timeout. Now for the Chicago Bears coming into this game, because we haven't talked about the Bears yet. Chicago coming into this game from last week, it's good for Chicago to come into this after already getting a week 1 win. Hold on, I will go into it a little bit more as they now broke the huddle. Third down and 10 from the Chicago 28-yard line. Rodgers drops back, takes a little bit of pressure, goes to his left and throws it, and he got, Aaron Jones looks like he had it, but they're ruling it a catch. He lost it towards the end, but they're still going to rule that he had control over it. And it's going to be a fresh set of downs for Green Bay. Let's look at this. Great throw by Aaron, right into the breadbasket for Aaron Jones. He has control over it. And the ball just, 1st and 10, and there's flags everywhere on this. This might be a false start on Green Bay. Yep, false start. Let's get back him up 5 yards. It's Josh Myers, second-year man out of Ohio State. That backs him up to a 1st and 15. They're still in the red zone, though, at the Chicago 18-yard line. Rodgers in the shotgun with Dillon to his left. Rodgers, quick pass, and Romeo Doubs wasn't. It was at Romeo Doubs' feet. It was supposed to be a quick out to Romeo Doubs, and it was at his feet. Bad throw by Rodgers. So it's 2nd and 15 now. Packers, they want to get, obviously every team wants to get into the end zone. But after their offensive performance last week, it's almost a must that they have to get really just any sort of points out of this drive to just rinse the stench off of last week. 2nd and 15, Rodgers drops back, and he throws it, and it is nearly caught by Allen Lazard in the end zone, but it was knocked away by Kyler Gordon, the other rookie in the Bears secondary, their 2nd-round pick out of Washington. They got a couple of really good rookies in that secondary. Brisker, who I mentioned earlier, and Gordon. And Gordon with a really nice play on that. Because Lazard, that was going to hit him in his hands. That might have been a touchdown. And Gordon with a great play to deflect it. But it's now 3rd and long. Robert Tonyan, the tight end, in motion. Rodgers in an empty set. Rodgers takes a snap, dancing around a little bit, and he is going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked by Gibson on the play. And the Packers are going to take out the field goal unit. Oh, my goodness. They didn't send much. It was just a 4-man rush. But the pressure got to him. Gibson just works his way around the right tackle and he gets home. And Mason Crosby is going to be out for the field goal attempt. How long will this be? This is going to be a 40-yard attempt. Snap, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. Didn't look good from coming off his foot, but it is good nonetheless. And the Packers take a 3-0 lead to start the ball game. That's a rough. I don't know how you would feel about that as the Packers, because I was just talking about coming off of last week's performance offensively, where you weren't really able to do much of anything. I feel like you were okay with getting some kind of points out of the first drive. But when you mix in how the drive ended with a false start, kicking them back 5 yards, 3 straight incomplete passes, and then a sack to end it, it's something that it's something you would prefer would have ended better, or at least gotten some sort of positive yardage on that last set. Because while you accomplished your goal of rinsing out the sourness of last week's offensive performance, it still leaves you being like, gosh, we could have really ended that better. But before we got all those series of plays, I wanted to talk about the Bears, because we haven't talked about the Bears. Chicago from last week. I'm not going to sit here and say I was overly impressed by Chicago. I think last week was more so San Francisco being unprepared. First of all, by the way, I know I'm going off a little bit of a tangent here, but my thoughts and prayers go out to Trey Lance. We just got word about an hour ago, suffered a fractured ankle in the eventual Niners win over Seattle, but early in the game, the first quarter, I believe, suffered a fractured ankle. It will require season-ending surgery. I'll go into it more on the podcast Wednesday. But back on the Bears. I will get to that when I get to that. But back on the Bears. You definitely like what you're seeing from Justin Fields. You feel more optimistic about Justin Fields. He made really nice plays in the end of that game, made some really nice throws to put that game out of reach, to give them a comfortable win, comfortable but relatively comfortable win for them. And you're hoping that carries over into this week, especially going against the Packers defense that, while they have a ton of talent, and I will rant on it in a second, and Bears will get the kickoff, and it'll be a return out to the 30-yard line, close to the 30-yard line. But they're going against a Packers defense that, let's not beat around the bush, they got curb stomped last week. They got mauled last week by the Minnesota Vikings. And it's inexcusable with the amount of talent that they have for them to completely just get obliterated like that. And against Chicago, which is a significantly worse offense than Minnesota, obviously, but you just hope that they can get a rebound off of this. On the first down play, they run it with David Montgomery, about a 3-4 yard gain. That's basically all it is. And that's a matchup I'm looking forward to personally, is Justin Fields prime time against this Packers defense. Both really with things to prove, even though one's coming off a win and one's coming off a loss. 2nd and 6, David Montgomery, and Montgomery breaks some tackles. Montgomery picking up some extra yards after the first, and he gets gang tackled around the 45-yard line. That'll be a new fresh set of downs. And that is how you want to start the drive if you're Chicago. Impose your will early, get the run game going. Because Justin Fields, say what you will, he is a really good play-action quarterback. Because he has his athleticism. Because he's such a threat to run the ball. And you have a really good running back in David Montgomery. So if you're able to establish the run against a Packers defense, that, let's be honest, is not the best against the run. Oh, fumbled the snap. And Fields was able to fall on that. It'll be 2nd and 10. That was almost – I was just praised. I was just about to say, like, oh, like, this is a good way to start the drive if you're Chicago. And then the snap doesn't even get off. Ooh. See? I told you. We're just going to have to work through it. But, yeah, I was just talking about, like, oh, the Bears, they're doing really well starting this drive off, and the snap doesn't even get off the ground. And the play clock's running down, and Chicago's going to have to burn a timeout. I've noticed that a lot throughout the day, where a lot of teams have been having some issues with the play clock, where a lot of teams will be getting out of the huddle, and I saw this over multiple games with multiple teams today, where the team would get out of the huddle, they'd go up to the line of scrimmage, and there would already be 6, 5, 4 seconds left on the play clock, and they're looking around like, what what the hell? Why did we not? When are you starting the play clock? And I got so excited in talking that I forgot to show everyone the new graphics for the week. Hold on 1 second. Ooh. That's okay. Yeah, third. Hold on 1 second. There we are. We're fixed. And I literally was talking about earlier how I was nervous of Hulu kicking me out. And they kicked me out. Why? Oh, man, the internet here is going to be the death of me. The internet here is going to be the death of me. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. All right, we're good. We're all good now. All right, there's still a commercial break, so don't worry. We didn't miss anything, folks. We did not miss anything at all. Even 2-1. I know, right? I can't believe that either. As a matter of fact, as we are now back from commercial break, 2nd and 10 now for Chicago. And it is a flea flicker time! And it is thrown down, and it's going to be Dante Pettis, and he gets it down. No, that is not Dante Pettis. My apologies. That was Equinemius St. Brown. I thought that was 18. It was 19. But he gets it down just outside the 20-yard line. We're whipping out flea flickers early. I love it. I love that. Oh, baby. That's how you know. That's how you know, man. That's how you know we're in real competitive football mode, baby. First and 10 is a pitch to David Montgomery, and Montgomery picks up about 13 yards on that. A new fresh set of downs, down to about the 12-yard line. Knocking on the door now. In Chicago, that flea flicker gave him they gave him a little life. They gave him some momentum. Handoff goes to Montgomery again. Montgomery bounces outside. Montgomery lowers the shoulder, and he gets it inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and short. Bears going to run for 200. I don't know about that. I don't know. Green Bay's run defense is not the greatest. However, I wouldn't be shocked, though, because Montgomery's a great back. Fields obviously has his ability to run it. Speaking of Fields running it, he's going to run it himself on the bootleg, and he dives in! Touchdown! Chicago Bears! Oh, this is already better than last week. This is already better than last week. Already better considering last week we didn't get a touchdown until the 4th quarter. We got a touchdown on the first Bears drive of the game. And he jumps over a defender to do it. But I was talking about earlier, like the Packers defense, they have a lot of great players on it. You just look at their roster defensively, straight up, as the extra point is good. You just look at their roster straight up on the defensive side of the ball. They have immense talent. They have Rashawn Gary, who's a monster. They have Preston Smith, who's really good. They have Kenny Clark, who's a monster. They have Devondre Campbell, who they paid a lot of money for. They have Jair Alexander, one of the best corners in football. They have a lot of really good football players. And yet, for some reason, for some unknown reason, nobody is scared of them. And hold on, before I forget, I want to change the graphic. So we are not. Un momento, por favor. Ooh, hold on 1 second. Sorry for being quiet. I'm just trying to adjust something. Alrighty. Hold on 1 second. Yay! All right, there we go. Sorry, I forgot to update it after the Packers field goal. I was so into talking to you guys that I completely forgot to do it. That was my fault. I'll try and be more on top of things as far as that goes. I mean, after all, that's pretty important. Where was I before I lost my train of thought on that? Oh yes, I was talking about. I was going into a rant about why the Packers have the talent they have, and yet nobody's scared of them. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the defensive coordinator situation. It doesn't matter how much great talent you have. When you're running defensive schemes and defensive coverages that are kindergarten level, like a 13-year-old on Madden would run, any smart quarterback will look at that and be able to pick it apart with ease. Why do you think Kirk Cousins had a career day against this same defense last week? It's because they had one of the best secondaries of football, and they just refused to run man coverage. On top of not being the most disciplined from a run defense standpoint, on top of running basically vanilla stuff, and your defense, no matter who's on it, isn't going to succeed like that. And the Bears took advantage of that on the first drive of the game. But now the Packers get the ball after the touchback, and they pick up about a 5-yard gain on the run. It's going to be 2nd down and 4 as we approach the 4-minute and 15 mark of the first quarter. 2nd and 4, Rodgers, another handoff to Dillon, and Dillon's gonna pick up a 1st down on that. He's gonna power through. He's the reason. Man, I really hope, like in a dream situation, AJ Dillon by year's end overtakes Aaron Jones as the number 1 back of the team. Now he won't. Because Aaron Jones, A, they paid a lot of money to a couple of years back, and B, he can do so much as a receiving back as well. 1st and 10, Rodgers with a play fake, and he too far out for Dillon. But AJ Dillon, mate, he's so freaking good. He's so freaking good, man. AJ Dillon is just such a good football player, man. And it sucks because he is technically the backup. Like, it's the same thing for Rhamondre Stevenson for New England. He's such a talented back. He'd be the number one back for basically what 3/4 of the team in the National Football League, and he's the backup. Like, right, that's not a bad thing to have. 2nd and 10, Rodgers is scrambling around. He's gonna pick up some yardage himself. Runs out of bounds, but there's a flag. That's probably gonna be a hold. It's coming back. We are waiting to see what this is. Oh, it's on the defense. It's not a hold against the offense. It's illegal contact against the defense. And it's against the rookie Brisker. Let's see this. I'm sorry, but where? And it's going to be a jet sweep pitch to, Christian Watson. Takes a little pop by Johnson at the end there, but picks up about 9. I'm sorry, where? Where was the illegal contact? If you want to make the argument that he was just grabbing his, like, the inside of his shoulder pad, then I guess, but it wasn't much to be flag worthy. Did Watson extend that to get the first down? No, he didn't. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Rodgers under center to hand off to Jones, and Jones picks up the first down and more as they get inside the 40. Fresh to the downs. 2 minutes remaining in the first. I don't agree on that. I don't agree on that call at all. I don't agree on that at all. Now, one thing I'm curious is how they use Christian Watson in this game, because they just did it there. They just did it where they were using him on sweeps and end arounds and things like that. He did a lot of that in North Dakota State. And Watson in motion again. Play action for Rodgers, throws it down the middle, and there's Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins with all the green in front of him, and he is taken down by Eddie Jackson in the red zone. As we approach a minute left in the first quarter, Rodgers in the play action and throws a strike down the middle to Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins, he's going to have to be the number one perimeter guy in this game. He has to be. You don't have a choice. Rodgers under center again, a handoff to A.J. Dillon in the I formation, and he just goes nowhere. That went absolutely nowhere. It got blew up at the line. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Actually, no, he lost a yard. Now the play clock and the game clock are both at 20 seconds, actually under 15. Will they be able to run a play before, or will they be able to let it run out? I think they're going to let it. And yeah, they will not run a play. And that's the end of the first quarter. That is the end of the first quarter. Chicago Bears up 7-3 after 1. One second. My apologies for my muteness. Sometimes I struggle with multitasking. And I didn't even tell the right one. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We're going to try and find this again. Let's see, is this it? There it is. There it is. I accidentally downloaded the same graphic twice. Flacco is reborn. I'm going to get more into that game on Sunday after I rewatch it, because it was going on at the same time as a Patriots game, so I wasn't able to catch it in full. But it's so fascinating how Cleveland went from the lovable loser that everyone wants to see succeed to the one team that everyone wishes to see fail. And good reason. Trust me, for good reason. For completely understandable reasons. But yeah, how about the New York Jets, man? It was only a matter of time, and this is without Zach Wilson. Now, I'm not going to say that Flacco's going to threaten Zach Wilson for his job when he gets back, like Zach Wilson's going to come back healthy, and they're going to be like, we're going to roll with Joe. No, I'm not going to think that at all. They spent too much on him to let that happen. And plus, Robert Saleh is on record saying that he believes Joe Flacco is good enough to still be a starting caliber quarterback in this league. I, along with everybody else, sort of laughed at that. Second 11. It's a handoff to Aaron Jones! Aaron Jones! Touchdown Packers! Aaron Jones off the pitch. He got a hole, got a couple blocks, and Aaron Jones did the rest. And we get our first Lambeau leap of the night. And someone gives him a tag team wrestling belt as well. Why not? Look at this. This is just a pitch play. And Aaron Jones, they get a couple blocks. He makes one jump cut, and he gets in there. On a 2nd and 11, extra point is up and good. And just like that, the Green Bay Packers are back in the lead by 3 points. Let me just change the score real quick. There we go. Hold on. La da da dee da da la dee da dee da da dee da la dee la dee da la dee da dee da la dee la dee da la dee da dee da. Bam 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 bam. And it's 10 to 7. Ding 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 ding. You like that? Did you like my little part of my awkwardness? You're going to have to get used to that. As we get to the kickoff, and this will be returned, and Ebner gets spun around and gets tackled at the 20. He was better off taking the touchback. Yeah, Justin Fields is going to have a chance to respond. Have the chance to respond. Down 3 points. This is only the second drive of the game for the Chicago Bears. That's crazy. There have been 3 drives in this ballgame so far. All of them have led to points. Fields is under pressure and he gets sacked. Ball is out. Ball is out. And the Bears fall on it. Ooh, that was almost dangerous fast. Preston Smith got home. Oh, my goodness. That was almost bad. Justin Fields felt the pressure, tried to scramble out of the pocket, and Preston Smith came up from behind, actually knocked the ball out. Actually, no. It wouldn't matter because he was down anyway. But it's 2nd and 15 now. After the sack, tries to swing it out to Darnell Mooney, and he gets set, and he gets tackled for about a 4 or 5 yard loss. That was Rasul Douglas. He read that like a book. I'm just talking about 3 drives in this game, 3 scores. That streak's about to come to an end very soon, it looks like, as the Bears, deep in their own territory at their own 10-yard line on a 3rd and 19. Fields all alone by himself in an empty set. Fields takes a stab and he's going to throw it on a screen pass to Montgomery, and he slips and falls. And 3 and out for Chicago just like that. Rasul Douglas on the tackle again. Now that's not how you want to respond. If you're Chicago, that is not how you want to respond. And the punt is away, and it's fair caught by Amari Rodgers. Packers get the ball near their own, near their own 45. Man, that sucks because you had such a great first drive here for Chicago. You had a great opening drive that ends in a touchdown. You get the lead, you get the momentum. Green Bay goes down, they score. And you think, all right, we can get into a back and forth with these guys. And then to come out the drive after and immediately go 3 and not just go 3 and out, but lose 9 yards in the process. Sack. Try to do a bubble straight out. Suffer another 4-yard loss. And then a screen that gets some of that yardage back, but isn't even close to it. It's a matter of, because so far after 2 drives, the Packers have been able to get points out of both their drives. Field goal in the first one, touchdown on the last one. So do you have the confidence? Does Matt Eberflus have the confidence in his defense to stop the Packers on the offensive side of the ball? If you ask me personally, I would say I don't. Because the Packers, while they aren't as talented on the offensive side of the ball, they still are a threat to move, and they still are a threat to score. As long as Aaron Rodgers is in there, they will always have that threat. Regardless of who he's throwing the ball to. And the Bears don't have much of the firepower on the defensive side of the ball to consistently hold them at bay. At least in my opinion. But we will have to see. The Bears do have some talent defensively. And we will just have to wait and see. And we will find out now as we are out of commercial break. 1st and 10 for the Packers. And it's a play action at A.J. Dillon, and it is a incomplete. intended for Sammy Watkins on the slant route. 2nd and 10, Kyler Gordon, the rookie, again on coverage. Aaron was disgusted. I don't know if he was disgusted with himself or if he was, I don't know what that was, because that was a face from hell. That's not the face you like when you see from Aaron Rodgers, when you look at the replay and you just see him go. Oh, my goodness. 2nd and 10, timeout from, I believe it was the Packers that called timeout. Alrighty. We are now out of the timeout. My apologies for the dead air. It's just a matter of waiting for plays to get back resuming and back on rolling. 2nd and 10 now. Rodgers under center. Making some changes on the line. It is a play action fake to Dillon. Rodgers is under pressure and he just throws it away to avoid the sack. Excuse me. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. 12:41 left in the first half. Bears had that swarmed. Bears had that absolutely swarmed. Yeah, Mercedes Lewis just whipped on a block. Gibson, who had the sack earlier, was the one that got the pressure on Rodgers. 3rd and 10 now, empty set, 5 receivers wide. Rodgers drops back. Robert Quinn's going to get to him! Robert Quinn with the sack on Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is taken down and is going to bring up a 4th down and the Packers will have to punt. So after starting the game with 3 straight drives that each ended in scores from the respective teams, the last 2 drives by both teams both ended in 3 and outs. And long 3 and outs at that. That was an 11-yard sack by Robert Quinn, who after all these years is still one of the elites. And the punt is going to be a touchback. Now, this is the Bears-Packers games that we usually come to expect. Not very high scoring, very physical, one in the trenches, one by who can run the ball better. These are the Packers-Bears games that we know and love. These are the Packers-Bears games that we have seen since the beginning of time. Name me the last Bears-Packers game that you remember that was a shootout. Point exactly. Like I said earlier, for those who weren't here when I gave this little disclaimer, I am coming off of a week where I was really sick, and I'm still not fully recovered from it. I still have a really bad dry cough that pops up. So 1969, that was the last shootout between these two teams. 1969. Nice. Like a thing. Nice. How fitting. That was the last. That 1969 was the last time that there was a lot of scoring between these two. Bad joke. My apologies. Corny joke. My apologies. Damn it. I just lost my train of thought. I don't even remember where I was. What was I talking about before I read that? God damn it. What was I talking about? That doesn't matter. We're back from commercial break. 1st and 10 for the Bears at the 20-yard line after the touchback. And it's a flag reveal. It's going to be a false start. That's going to back them up 5. Again, not how you want to start the drive if you're Chicago. With tight end Ryan Griffin on the false start. First and 15 now for the Chicago Bears, backed up to their own 15-yard line. It is a handoff to the running back Khalil Herbert, and he goes nowhere on that. Quay Walker was the man that met him at the line. So it's now 2nd down and 15 to go. Oh, he actually gained a yard on that, 2nd and 14. Another handoff to Herbert again. This time he picks up a little bit more. It's to about the 20-yard line, so they're back to where the original line of scrimmage was, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 10 now. As we approach 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. You can always talk Vikings. Vikings don't play till tomorrow night, my man. Vikings don't play till tomorrow night. Third and 10 now. Fields under pressure, steps up. He's going to run. Oh, he's way over the line of scrimmage after he threw that. That should be a penalty. He completed an Equanimeous St. Brown, but it doesn't matter. He was well across the line of scrimmage. That's going to come back. That's him doing too much. That's him doing way too much. And, yeah, how far was he over? He was a full 2 yards over the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage was at the 20-yard line. He threw it from the 22. And that's a loss of down. That was a loss of down, too. Man, that was such a blown opportunity. Blown opportunity from a stupid mistake as the Bears trot out the punt unit. Punts away, and it's a boomer, bro. And Amari Rodgers will return it. Rodgers finds a seam. Rodgers will return it to the 45-yard line of Green Bay. 10 minutes, 11 seconds left of the second quarter as the broadcast will head to a commercial break. Woo. Yeah. But like I said, for those who weren't here at the beginning of the stream when I explained this, I got a cold from this week, and it's still kind of kicking my ass a little bit. So if you hear I'm a little nasally or a little congestion, my apologies. Or if I just have a bunch of coughing fits, you might have already heard. My apologies for it. What? I'm sorry if there are headphone listeners that heard that. I just destroyed your ear. I just destroyed your ears. What? We'll work through it. I felt one coming up, but I caught it. I felt a cough coming up, but I caught it. Man, oh man. Man, if you're Chicago, I mean, Justin Fields, that's a moment he's going to have to learn from. Of field awareness. If you're going to take off up the middle to run, then take off up the middle to run. But you have to know where you are in the field. I know that sounds like, well, obvious, no shit, Sherlock, but that's inexcusable. I'm sorry. Even for a young quarterback, throwing the ball when you're a full 2 yards over the line of scrimmage is inexcusable. But he's young. He's going to learn from that. And now he knows to, all right, I got to make up my mind earlier of if no one's covering me, take off. And if I am going to throw it, I got to know where I am on the field. We are back for commercial break now, 1st and 10. At the 46-yard line, Rodgers boots out to his left, and he throws it to Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb makes a move, and he will be down after a 9-yard gain. Into Chicago territory we go. It'll be a 2nd and 1 now for the Green Bay Packers as we are now under the 10-minute mark. Randall Cobb, he's been the only real guy that's had chemistry here with Aaron Rodgers. And I talked earlier in the stream of how the rest of these receivers need to step up and gain his trust. Even Al Lazard, he just recently got his trust as Aaron Jones, picks up the first down off the run to the left. Be a fresh set of downs for Green Bay. But you look at the receiver room for Green Bay, it's a young receiver room. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, both the rookies. Alan Lazard, who is a receiver. I'll try not to make jokes that result in me laughing at myself because I'll die if I do. Aaron Jones with the handoff, and he makes a few guys miss. Picks up about 6 yards on the carry. Brings up another 2nd and short. Man, I keep forgetting where I am. It doesn't matter. It's 2nd and 2 now. Watson in motion. It's a handoff to A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon breaks through, and he's tackled from behind, but not before getting to the 25-yard line and picking up a first down for Green Bay. I really like what the Packers are doing to the run game so far. They're really establishing the run game well. And that's going to be good for them when they do run those bootlegs with Rodgers later in the game. They'll be able to do that more consistently and be able to get more open looks to get these receivers in open situations. 1st and 10, Watson in motion again. Hand out to Dylan. Dylan to the right. Dylan makes a cut, makes another cut. He pulls his way over, but there's a flag on the play. As of right now, it's a 9-yard game, but there is a flag on the play. We are waiting to see what it is. Holding on the offense is coming back. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's Royce Newman. Second-year man. And, oh, yeah. That was a good call. That was a really good call. Now, 1st and 20. The Packers went from knocking on the door of the red zone to they're going to need to get a big chunk of that back. Rodgers is under pressure, and there's another flag. Sacked by Gibson again. It might be another flag. If it stands, that's going to be Gibson's second sack of the game. And there is no penalty. They're going to pick it up. So it is a sack. That is Gibson's second sack of the game. And he beat Elgton Jenkins again. Oh, they should have called a hold on that. He tried. Elgton Jenkins tried to spoon him. He tried to spoon him. It's a 2nd and 28 now. And a screen out to Romeo Doubs, gets a few blockers, picks up a bunch of that. He might have got back to the original line. Oh, my goodness. I think he just got back to the original line of scrimmage. That's about 18 yards on that. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll see. We're going to see on this, but this was a really well-designed screenplay. And it just missed the hand of Robert Quinn. Robert Quinn was this close to batting that ball down. It's a 3rd and 8. He got back to the original line and +2. Rodgers throws it to Cobb, who picks up the 1st down. Cobb lined up as a running back. Went out. And Rodgers hit him for the 1st down. How in the world, after they're a 2nd and 28, did the Packers pick up a 1st down? So now they are inside the 15-yard line of the Bears, looking to add on to this lead and potentially get back in the end zone after they were knocked out of field goal range just 2 plays prior. Cobb in motion. Rodgers pitches it to Dylan. Dylan makes a move, cuts inside, and he's not going to go. He gets about 4 yards on that. Going to bring up 2nd and down. Going to bring up 2nd down on that. Ooh. Yeah. We are now under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Wow. 2nd and 5 for Green Bay. And Jones in motion. He's going to get the pitch, and Jones has some blockers, and he's going to go in. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones' 2nd touchdown of the night as he flashes his chain. And Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. This one technically a touchdown reception. It will go down in the books as a touchdown reception. But it is a touchdown. It doesn't matter. Same result. Crosby after the extra point. Snap ball down, and the extra point is good. And the Green Bay Packers. Un momento, por favor. And boom. The Green Bay Packers are now up by 10 with a little under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Now, Chicago, they kicked off, so they will get the ball after halftime. So they're not out of it yet. There is a world where they can go down, get a touchdown or points of any kind, and then get the ball back at halftime, after halftime, I should say, drive down with an opportunity to tie the game or take the lead. So Chicago is not in a bad spot right now at all. They just got to fix a couple of stupid little mental mistakes. Again, my apologies for my constant sniffling. Well, yeah, if you're Chicago, I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet. We're not out of it. Just take a breather, clean up some errors, go down, get some kind of points on the board before half, and go in, make some halftime adjustments, come out for the second half, get the ball, and go back to essentially what you were doing on the first drive, is having the threat of Justin Fields running, having the threat of the running game doing some damage. Is it just me, or is... Huh. Saw the back of Aaron Rodgers' head, and it looked weird. I don't know. But that's not a good way. I was just talking about how they have a chance to go down and do something. Amir Smith-Marset only taking that out to the 15, if even. It's not a good way to start the drive. Aaron Rodgers is 5th all-time in touchdown passes. I actually didn't even know that. All right, 1st and 10 from the 15. Fields with Montgomery to his right, now motioning to his with his left, now motioning to his right. Fields throws in, the pass is incomplete, intended for the tight end, Cole Kmet. And Fields got hit at the end of that play. Aaron Jones already whipping the shades out. I don't know why. It's nighttime. I don't know why he needs it. Second and 10 now. Fields under center. Darnell Mooney in motion. Hand off to Montgomery. And he gets smothered. Rashawn Gary. You knew it was a matter of time before he made his presence felt. And he made it not on a pass rush snap, but on a run defense. He just sheds the block. And he just smothers David Montgomery in the backfield. About a 5-yard loss it is. It's going to be a 3rd and 15. Under 4 minutes now in the second quarter. Fields takes the snap, throws it quick, and oh my goodness. Equanimeous St. Brown got blown up by Eric Stokes right as he caught it, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. 4th down. Fields was running off. Now he's running back onto the field. Are they going to go for it? Because Fields was running off the field. Oh, no, they're not. They're running the punt unit on, and their punt is away. And Amari Rodgers bobbles it, but he gets it back. Rodgers muffed the punt, but he was able to get it back, and there's a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is. And it's a holding on Green Bay. So that's going to back him up from the spot a little bit. But the Packers are going to have a chance to add on to the lead. I didn't like that at all from Chicago. I didn't like that at all from them. Man, I felt like that was such a wasted opportunity for them. I don't know what else to say for that. It's just it was two really bad plays to start the drive. A drop by Kmet, a tackle for loss, and yeah, it was doomed from the start. 1st and 10 for Green Bay, hand off to Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones fights through, gets the first down, and a couple more after that. He gets it close to midfield as he signals first down. Green Bay has been really effective with running the football tonight so far. They just impose their will on the ground. I figured it would have been Chicago doing their most to try to establish a ground game, but it's actually been Green Bay, which makes sense considering they're not the greatest passing team right now. Hand off to A.J. Dillon. I was just talking about how they've been effective on the ground, but that one they go nowhere. Maybe a 2-yard game. And that will be the final play as we hit the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna have to. I'll take a break, same as I did last week at halftime. This week I actually need it in order to charge my laptop a little bit. But where was I? Am I covering Monday night? I will not be. I sort of talked about it last week about because of scheduling conflicts, I will only be able to do Sunday night games unless a situation pops up on a Monday night or a Thursday night. Unless something like that pops up, I will let you guys know on Twitter beforehand. Before right now, it's more of just a scheduling thing, and I can only do Sunday night games because that's what my schedule will be able to do. Take a shot for every time I said schedule or that. I have a tendency to repeat a lot of the same things. But yeah, I'm not able to do Monday night, unfortunately. And even then, it'd be kind of tricky because tomorrow night's 2 different Monday Night Football games. So that would be kind of tricky to do. We are now back out of commercial break. It's going to be a 2nd and 9 for the Green Bay Packers. Packers a great opportunity to get some more points to add to the lead. Dillon out in motion. Rodgers looks his way but doesn't throw it. Throws a screen to Aaron Jones. There's a flag on the play. Jones picks up the first down, but there's a flag out, so it's probably going to end up coming back. This might end up being – oh, no, it's offsides on Chicago. Penalties declined, first down. It was an offsides on Robert Quinn. Oh, man. Bears are just shooting themselves in the foot on both sides of the ball. With stupid penalties. Hand off to Dillon on the new set of downs, and he picks up about 3. We'll bring up about 2nd and 7, I want to say. All righty. It is, 2nd and 7. Rodgers with pressure, steps up in the pocket, throws down the field, and it is caught. It's caught by Randall Cobb inside the 15-yard line. And we now hit the minute mark. And the Packers are threatening to get into the end zone again. Great pocket awareness. He got pressure up the middle, stepped up, rolled to his right a little bit, and threw a dart. Absolute dart to Randall Cobb. 1st and 10, Rodgers fakes the handoff, throws it to the tight end, Tonyan. Tonyan lowers his shoulder, picks up a few more, and is going to be about a 2nd and – no, it's going to be a new fresh set of downs. Unless they didn't change the graphic. Nope, it's 2nd down. It's going to be 2nd and inches. And the Packers have used their final timeout. 35 seconds left in the first half. Man, oh man, they're replaying the play of Rodgers escaping and throwing to Cobb. Man, that was a beautiful throw. Packers back in the huddle. The offense telling the crowd to quiet down. Crowd's going nuts. They're telling them to quiet down. 2nd and 1. Play clock at 15 as they break the huddle. Rodgers in a shotgun. Aaron Jones to his right. It is a no play action to Aaron Jones, and it's a throw to Allen Lazard, the slant. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. And Allen Lazard is giving shots at everybody. My apologies. That is another touchdown. Allen Lazard giving out shots to everyone in the offense in the end zone. But that is another Green Bay Packer touchdown. After I was talking earlier about how the Bears had a good opportunity to get points before they get the ball after half, it was the Packers that ended up getting the points before halftime. and they extend their lead 24-7. And this is turning into a rout very, very quickly. Hold on 1 second. My computer is slightly not cooperating with me. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, folks. Bear with me. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'm running into a graphics issue. I mean, it is the end of the first half, so it's not terrible. But I do want it fixed. Okay. Hold on. Let's see if this. Why is this happening? Alrighty. We have it all figured out. Yay. We have it figured out. Yay. My apologies. I don't know what happened there for a second. But we came back just in time as Justin Fields and the Bears with 32 seconds to work with and 2 timeouts. Maybe try to do something before the half. Fields takes a snap, and he's going to throw just a straight pass to Khalil Herbert, and he goes nowhere. And I think, yeah, they're just going to wind this out and go into halftime. Now, Chicago, like I said, receives the second half kickoff, so they get the ball immediately after this. So, yeah, they're just going to let it run out. As we now head to halftime of this Sunday night game, Chicago is trailing 24-7. I will go on break for a second as I charge my computer because my computer is about to die for some reason, and we will take care of that. I will see you all in a bit after halftime ends. And we are back. I know what you're probably thinking. Hey, the lighting looks weird now. And that is because I only have one outlet for where I am. And I had to unplug it in order to charge my laptop because I thought I charged it earlier, but apparently I did not. So if I look a little dark, my apologies, but we're just gonna have to. There's not much I can do about it right now. Matter of fact, hold 1 minute. So yeah, hold on. Alrighty, we should be good. And we're back just in time too. As a matter of fact, the Chicago Bears just ran their second down play. And it was a Rashawn Gary sack on it. So it was a 3rd and 9 now. Fields drops back. Relatively clean pocket and ends up checking it down to Montgomery, and he doesn't get anything on it. I know I look a little dark right now, but again, this what we're gonna have to deal with for right now. Right now, I'm just hoping my my computer doesn't explode. Punt is deep, and Rodgers catches it. Doesn't call for a fair catch, so he gets tackled immediately. Packers get the ball back. We're going to a commercial break. Ooh. My apologies. I was right in the microphone. Hold on 1 second. All right, just checking to make sure everything is still working relatively well. But Bears come out first drive, get a 3 and out, start second half. I don't. After today's onslaught of games, I don't ever feel comfortable saying a game is over at this particular point, well before the game is over. Especially considering we had quite a bit of comeback victories today. But you just sort of get the feeling that Chicago is outmatched. I mean, you knew that going into this game, that on paper this team was outmatched, but you figured, like, okay, Chicago, they might be feeling a little good. They might have a little momentum off of their huge win over San Francisco last week. Green Bay, granted, they never looked good in week 1 under Matt LaFleur, but they didn't look good last week. So you would hope that this might be a little more competitive, and so far that has not been the case. And to be frank, I don't know what else I was expecting because I knew Aaron Rodgers was going to get back in a groove. The offense was going to get back in a groove. They have been absolutely dominant on the ground in this game. And Chicago, outside of that first drive, haven't really done anything to scare the Packers defense. And the Bears defense hasn't done anything to try and neutralize the Packers offense. Now there's still a whole half left of football, so it's not out of the realm of possibility of Chicago coming back by any means. But You just haven't really seen it yet at this point. Rodgers in the I formation, hand off to Aaron Jones. He makes a couple spins out, cut, spins out, about a 5-yard gain. NBC showing the Aaron Rodgers doppelganger. It is horrifying how much he actually looks like. Oh my gosh. That is actually terrifying. That is actually one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, we got a treat. My apologies, excuse me. Hand off to Aaron Jones. Jones picks up a first down and a couple more. Fresh set of downs for Green Bay. Man. Chicago hasn't been able to find an answer to this whole running game. The Packers so far have been able to do whatever they've wanted on the ground. 1st and 10, Watson in motion. It's a handoff again to Jones, his third straight carry, and Jones breaks free. Jones with a lane, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds, but not before reaching midfield by Eddie Jackson. He is hit out of bounds by Eddie Jackson and Roquan Smith, but not before he reaches midfield. What a run. Longest run of the day for Aaron Jones. Longest run of the day for either team. Aaron Jones finds a hole, breaks out of a shoestring, and Eddie Jackson had the angle on him, so they weren't able to knock him out of bounds. Aaron Jones, that rush put him over 100 for the game. 1st and 10 now at the 38-yard line. Rodgers play action, throws it short to Christian Watson, and he gets blown up for about a yard loss by the man that made the tackle on the previous play, Eddie Jackson. The Packers are just I hate to sound like a broken record, but they are just doing whatever they want. They have complete control over this game. 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Play clock down to 3. Handoff this time to A.J. Dillon, and Dillon breaks a tackle. Dillon runs over a defender, and he is close to a first down. I think they are saying that he did pick up a first down. And yeah, it's going to be a new, fresh set of downs for the Green Bay Packers at the 28-yard line of Chicago. Man, this is going to be ugly fast. I don't like where this is going to be heading, man. Rodgers back under center. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Christian Watson in motion. And it's a handoff to Dillon. He fumbles the handoff. He fumbled the handoff, and Chicago jumped on it. Oh, my gosh. That's what they needed. Chicago needed that, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bears. Oh, my goodness. All the momentum. Ooh. All the momentum was on Green Bay's side. And A.J. Dillon, he messed up the handoff, and Chicago fell on it. It looked like there was it looked like Rodgers ran into him a little bit, and that might have messed up the handoff. But man, that was a break and a half for Chicago. They needed that. But the Bears offense has to capitalize on this. They have to capitalize on this now. Yeah. Man, oh man, oh man. I was just talking about how this didn't look good. This was getting ugly. And it was. And then, I mean, but that's how the Bears are going to have to get back in this game. They're going to have to hope that Green Bay does something stupid like that. Some stupid fluky thing like that. That's what Chicago has to hope for at this point in order to get back in the game, because they can't stop them on the ground. They can maybe stop them through the pass, maybe. But Green Bay is not letting them think that they could possibly stop them through the air because they've been so dominant on the ground. And they just needed that one break, that one turnover. And they got that turnover off of just a pure miscue. It wasn't a forced turnover. It was just a freak. Dylan forgets to take the handoff properly. And I'm not going to say Chicago's back in it because they still have to do something with this. Otherwise, it would be for naught. But that's the key. They have to get something from this. First and 10 now. Ooh. At the 31-yard line of Chicago. Handoff to David Montgomery. He stumbles a little bit, but spins out. He breaks a few tackles, powers through close to the 40-yard line. Oh, my goodness. David Montgomery showing some fight. We're going to see here. They're showing the handoff again. And somebody, I don't know if, I think Aaron Rodgers went the wrong way. Because it was a counter back to the left. And Rodgers, usually the quarterback's supposed to hand that off with his right hand if the play's going to the left. He got confused and had the ball in his left hand, so he tried to get it back into position. And I think that just messed everything up. Hand off to Montgomery. He picks up the first down and many more. He carries defenders to the 50-yard line. But that's why I said that it's things like that that Chicago needs to pray for at this point. Just yes. Fields takes a drop back, throws it down the middle, and he's got his tight end, Griffin. And that's going to be a new set of downs. Found his tight end, Griffin, right in the middle of the field. And alrighty. Oh, they got him. There was a penalty on the flag. I wasn't even paying attention. It was too many men on the field. So now they're going to get the ball at the 31 of Green Bay. And it's a first down run, and the carry for Montgomery goes nowhere. They're showing I don't even know what they're showing right now. Alrighty, 2nd and 8. It was a 2-yard gain for Montgomery. And it's a handoff to Montgomery again. Makes a couple cuts, and he is tackled from behind, but after about a 5-yard gain, 6-yard gain, maybe be about third and 3, excuse me. Third and 2, for that matter, excuse me. As we approach 6 minutes and change in the third quarter. Man, we're already at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Come on. No, my stream's buffering again. Okay, good. This is third and 2. Chicago with a golden opportunity right now. And is there going to be a flag in this play? Fields wasn't expecting the snap. He got swarmed. He's rolling to his left, and he just gets taken down. He looked like he was about to go forward to try and make an audible at the line, and he got the snap when he wasn't expecting it. And I'm guessing he panicked, and that play was going nowhere from the start. It was Preston Smith, the DN, who dropped in coverage, and he was the one that made the play. But field goal attempt for Santos, and the kick is up from 44, and it is good. So it's a 14-point game, 2-touchdown game. Chicago was able to get some kind of points out of that. Chicago was able to get some kind of points out of that, but ooh. Now, the question from this game on, from this point onward in the game, is how is Matt Eberflus's defense going to counteract Green Bay's running game? You just can't just hope for a misdirection on the snap or the handoff or whatever. You can't just hope for that every play. You gotta make some kind of adjustments. And we saw at that first drive, whatever adjustments they did make didn't seem to work because, as a matter of fact, on that drive was some of their better rushing attempts in this game. And that's saying a lot. So it'll be interesting. But I wonder if that might have given, excuse me, I wonder if that might have given Chicago maybe just that little bit of a oomph to it, or to them. That little bit of a spark to be like, okay, we're still in this, as I once again need to hold on 1 second. Update the scoreboard. And hold on. There. All right, and boom. And just in time for the Packers to get back on offense. All righty. First and 10, the Green Bay Packers at the 24-yard line. Rodgers under center, play action to Jones. Rodgers going to throw it short to his tight end Tonyan, and he picks up about 4 yards. It'll be second down. Robert Tonyan hasn't been involved much in this game. Had the big injury last year. Expect him to get back in to a groove as far as the offense goes, especially with Davante Adams no longer there. Expected him to be a bigger part of this game, but hasn't really made much of an impact. He's second and 8. It's a 2-yard gain. Rodgers in the I formation. And there's a pitch to Jones. And he gets swarmed, maybe about a yard gain. But well played defensively by Chicago, and that brings up a 3rd and 7. And we'll see what happens here. This is a big 3rd down. It's going to be 3rd and 6. So there was a 2-yard gain. We are now under 4 minutes in this third quarter. This third quarter has been flying by. My goodness. Usually the third quarters feel like they take the longest, but this has been flying by. Jones to Rodgers' left, and he motions out. Rodgers by himself and empty. Throws it short, and it is incomplete, but there's a flag on the play. It's going to be defensive PI. The pass for Aaron Jones was incomplete, but it's going to be called a defensive penalty. Now, is this going to be an automatic first? I want to see this. Now, the refs are discussing this, so they might actually end up picking it up. No, there is. Oh, there was 2 penalties on Chicago. There was a penalty, defensive pass interference. There we go. That was declined. And then there was a defensive holding. Yeah. And that was further down the field, and that's the automatic first down. Oh, my God. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Chicago shooting themselves in the foot on both sides of the ball. 1st and 10 now. Watkins in motion, handoff to Aaron Jones, and Jones picks up about 8 yards. Man, oh my God, Chicago. They had it, and then once again, this stupid mental mistakes. It's this stupid mental mistakes on situations where the Bears can get off the field. And not 1, but 2 penalties prevented them from doing so. 2nd and 2 from the 41-yard line, handoff to A.J. Dillon, and he just barrels through for a first down and a couple more after. It's going to be a 1st and 10 around the 45. Man, that actually made me upset, low-key. That actually low-key made me upset, man. Golly. Oh, my gosh. Mercedes Lewis, how was that not a hold? How was that not called for a hold? 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rodgers back under center. Dillon is lone setback. Handoff to Dillon, and he goes nowhere. About a yard gain, maybe. Yeah, be about a 2nd and 9. Mercedes Lewis, 17th NFL season. My goodness. That is ridiculous. And he's not even like, he's a good football player, but he was never like one of the league's dominant So the fact that he's been in the league for as long as he has, being primarily a run blocker for the second half. Oh, bad snap! Bad snap! It was a bad snap, but the Packers are able to fall on it. That's the second weird miscue from the Packers offense in back-to-back drives. What happened? Oh my gosh, the snap was back. Christian Watson was in motion. It hit Watson. Watson was in motion. They snapped the ball, and the ball hit Watson's forearm. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So now it's a 3rd and 22. Aaron Jones goes out in motion. Rodgers by himself. And they're going to throw a screen pass to Romeo Doubs. He picked up 18 last time he did it, but he wasn't able to get much there. About maybe like 6-7 yards at best. And that might be the final play of the third quarter, as it's now 4th down. That's the second drive in a row now where the Packers, they were doing some great things. They were starting to get momentum. And then a weird miscue with handling the ball completely killed it. It was the weird miscue in the handoff on the previous drive that actually resulted in a turnover. And then there's the snap that hit a motioning Christian Watson that pushed him back to a 3rd and 22. And now they're going to have to punt. You know what I was saying earlier, that Chicago shouldn't rely on the Packers offense doing weird things like that? I was wrong. You're going to have to, because apparently it's going to happen now. This is crazy. As we enter the fourth quarter, it's weird. It feels like we just got out of halftime. It feels like we just got out of halftime and we're already heading to the fourth quarter. That's crazy. It felt like the third quarter just started too. So I will change the graphic then, if that is the case. Hold on one moment. There we are. I will get that loaded in. There we are. Man, oh man. Hold on to your hats, folks. This might get interesting. This might get interesting. It's only a 2-touchdown game. And the Bears are going to get the ball back to start this fourth quarter. Right after Green Bay punts it. Ooh, Bears nearly got home. And fair catch is called for by Pettis. And around the 10-yard line. And that's where the Chicago Bears will start this drive to start the fourth quarter. Chicago, they have to do something. They're going to hope. Now, Chicago last week, they didn't do much offensively throughout the game against San Francisco, and then they turned it up once they got into the fourth quarter. And the first play, the drive is a handoff. It's a pitch to Montgomery, and he carries a load of Packers for a first down on about an 11-yard gain. That's the drive starter you needed. But I was just saying, the Bears last week offensively didn't do much until the fourth quarter started. And that's when Justin Fields started making plays. That's when he started throwing dimes. And they started getting into the end zone. And that was against a really good Niner defense. Fields hands nose. Play action, rolls to his left. He's going to uncork one deep. And he overshoots everyone. It was intended for Darnell Mooney. Fields rolled to his right. He chucked it deep. He had Mooney one-on-one with Stokes, but he overthrew them all, and probably thankfully he overthrew them all because that was well covered by Stokes. But it's second down now. It's going to be 2nd and 10. He's lucky he overthrew that because Stokes probably would have got there before Mooney did. Hand off to Montgomery again on the second down play, and he cuts out. He makes another cut. He makes another cut, and he gets a first down. Oh, my goodness, David Montgomery. This is what they did on the first drive of the game. David Montgomery has been the guy in this game for them offensively. If they're going to have a chance, they need to give him the rock more because he has been the one consistent thing in their offense. Fields, and it's a no, it's not. It faked me out, but Fields, it didn't fake out Preston Smith. It faked me out of the handoff, but it didn't fake Preston Smith out. As Preston Smith gets him on the sack. It's going to be second down, and we'll see how many yards lost. It was a really good fake by Justin Fields. And Preston Smith, he waited. He didn't bite. He just sat at the line, waiting to see what Fields would do. And then as soon as Fields turned out, Preston Smith just went. Second and 20 was a 10-yard loss. Hand off to Montgomery. Montgomery. Oh, my gosh, Montgomery breaks through. Oh, my gosh, Montgomery with the outside. He picked up a first down and more. David Montgomery. This man is a monster. 25-plus yard run for David Montgomery on 2nd and 20. This man is a machine. Man, I wish my throw was fully healthy or else I'd be screaming like a... See? 12 carries, 114 yards for David Montgomery. Khalil Herbert's in the game now, and he has some room. Khalil Herbert down to near the 20. Khalil Herbert, his first carry in a while, and he gets a bunch. He got the pitch. He found an up and hole. Great downfield block by Darnell Mooney to get a few extra. And this is what I was talking about. The Bears did in the first half on that first drive was they were really running the ball effectively. And it was keeping the Packers on. And, oh, my gosh, Byron Pringle flinched. He flinched twice, actually. It's going to be a false start. Oh, my gosh. Byron Pringle flinched not once but twice. Yeah, 1st and 15. Man, you just hope it doesn't kill the momentum they had. I mean, it shouldn't. Not after the way they've been running the ball on this drive. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. It's time to get on the edge of your seat, folks. 1st and 15 from the 25. I formation. It's a handoff to Khalil Herbert. Herbert gets those penalty yardage back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 10. And David Montgomery is checking back into the game. Second and 10. Montgomery is back in the game. Fields is back under center. Motion man pitch to Montgomery. Montgomery runs into his blocker, but stumbles forward for a few extra yards. It'll be about, we'll see, about maybe a 4-yard gain. 5 yards, 3rd and 5 coming up. All righty. 3rd and 5 at the 15-yard line of Green Bay. Fields making an audible at the line. Montgomery to his left. And it is a fake to Montgomery. Fields going to keep it himself. Gets a nice block. Picks up the first down. He got a nice block to seal the edge on that. And, they're going to mark him just short. They're going to mark him just short. He gets a great block from Cole Kmet. And I thought for sure he picked, might have been a good call. I don't know about that. But it's 4th and inches, and they're going to go for it. Why wouldn't you? Shit, why wouldn't you? And the red challenge flag is out. Chicago's a challenge it. From that pylon cam, man, I don't know. It looked for sure like he might have been. It looked like he might have gotten it. But they will take a look at it. From the pylon cam, it looked like when he touched out of bounds, the ball was at the line of scrimmage. Not the line of scrimmage, at the line to gain. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thank God this turned into something competitive. Man, I was getting worried. I was getting worried that I was going to have to commentate over another boring game again like last week. I hope I didn't just jinx it, but man. Ooh, baby. Oh, man, okay, here we go. I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. They're a commercial break right now as they're currently looking to make sure if he actually hit the line of game. If it doesn't, it's going to be 4th and inches, and they're going to go for it anyway. But I don't know. It could be a situation where it's not enough to overturn it. It very well could be. Man, how great would it be? How great would it be if this turned into what the Cardinals-Rams was? Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals-Raiders was. Excuse my brain for not functioning properly. I still can't get over that game. Like I said, I'll get more into it on the podcast this week. But man, how great would that be? Fitting after the day we've had. We're back from commercial. And the call is reversed. He got the first down. The call on the field is overturned, and it is a first down, Chicago. It's a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Hand off to Montgomery. Montgomery gets about 2 yards on it. 2nd and goal. That was big. That was a good challenge by Matt Eberflus. That was a really good challenge by him. Because instead of having to deal with a 4th and inches and risk turning the ball over, you now have a goal-to-go situation in 4-down territory regardless. 2nd and goal. And it's a handoff to, is that Montgomery again? And they pick up another 2 or 3 yards. 3rd and goal from about the 5-yard line, I want to say. I mean, this is 4-down territory no matter what you look at it. Even though there's still 8.5 minutes, over 8.5 minutes to go in the game, I still think this is 4-down territory. Fields takes a snap. Looking through, he's pressured. He escapes it, though. He's going to run. He's going to try to get to the pylon. Did he get there? Did he get there? The ball is out. The Packers picked it up. What's it going to be? I think he got there. I think he hit the pylon. They're discussing it. No one knows what the hell's going on. Touchdown! It's ruled a touchdown on the field. And hold on to your hats, folks. Hold on, baby. Let's look at this. Oh, he might be short. His knees might have been down before he got there. Let's look. Knees down. Yeah, he's short. He's short by a needle. It's going to be 4th and goal. But that was good. They ruled it a scoring play, so they were going to review it anyway. But yeah, his knees was down, and the ball was this close to the goal line. So it's going to be 4th and goal. It's going to be 4th and goal, under 8.5 minutes in the ball game. And the Bears offense, like I said, is still on the field. Matt LaFleur trying to hype up the crowd. Can the Packers defense make a stand? Or will the Bears punch it in and make this a 1-score game? Fields on the QB keeper. Can he power his way in? Oh my gosh, I don't know if he got there. Oh my gosh, I don't know if he got there. They're not giving a touchdown signal. He didn't get there. There's no signal for anything. Let's look. Fields is powering through. He didn't get there. Oh my gosh, he didn't get there. Oh my goodness, he didn't get there. It's a turnover on downs, and the Packers are gonna get the ball with their asses right up in the end zone. But oh my heavens. Fields was this close both times and came up short both. He was right there and came up short both times. Oh my God, that's going to suck. Now, the Packers are not out of Dodge yet. Because, for one, there's 8 minutes left in the game. And two, it's 1st and 10 for them at the inch line. So this is, oh no, come on, straight. Come on, no. Okay, it's all right. We're all good. But they're in a situation where, like, they are up in with their backs against the wall. So they're not completely out of it. They're not completely in a situation where they can take a sigh of relief just yet. But man, what a stand from the Packers defense. Oh my goodness. Both times Justin Fields came within inches of getting a touchdown. And both, oh my gosh. That's heartbreaking. We're now back. Oh, they're still reviewing it. Chicago challenged it. I don't know why. Because the quality on my stream is bad right now. But it looks to me like he didn't get there. Oh, wait. Did the tip of the ball get there? You can't really see it. I don't think there's enough to overturn this. I really don't think there is. I really don't think there is. They're still reviewing it, which means there might be a shot at it. The call in the field was short. Yeah, the ruling on the field stands. Yeah, there was nothing to overturn that. So it's going to be 1st and goal, not 1st and goal. It's going to be 1st down at the inch line for the Green Bay Packers. If you're the Packers offense, your backs cannot be any more up against the wall than this. 1st and 10 in their own end zone. And the Bears have used up all of their coaches' challenges. And there's still 8 minutes left in the ball game. It is a handoff to Dillon, and he is able to fight for about 5 yards to give the Packers some more breathing room. I'm not going to say that lost the Packers the game because that was the right decision. It just wasn't the greatest execution. Aaron Jones back in the game. It was actually a 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6 for the Packers. Rodgers now in a shotgun formation. Sammy Watkins is the motion man. Motions to the right. It is a handoff to Jones, and Jones. Tackle might have saved the 1st down on that. It's going to be a 3rd and 2, I want to say, coming up. Oh, man. They're showing the replay of the goal line. Fields had 2 wide open lanes. He had 2 of them. He ran through one, but it just closed up quickly. He had 2 options to run through, and he ended up choosing the wrong one. That sucks. 3rd and 2. Play clock down to 3. It is a handoff to – no, it's a Rodgers keeper, and he dives and picks up the 1st down. The old man using his legs. I love to see it. I heard somebody in my apartment complex. I don't know what they're yelling at. That was a read option with Rodgers for the longest 4-yard gain of his life. That was the longest 4-yard gain you'll ever see. But it sets up a new set of downs with the clock ticking under 6 minutes now. Play clock is at 0, but they get the snap off, and Dillon is swarmed to the backfield for about a 2-yard loss. It's going to be about 2nd and 12 coming up. There is a timeout called by who I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, the Bears are looking at a situation where they need a miracle right now. I know it's weird to say considering it's a little under 6 minutes left in the ball game. But they're down 2 touchdowns. They are in a situation where they need to. This is the time of the game where you say somebody's got to step up and make a play. Who? Who wants it? It's Sunday Night Football. Who wants to be the guy to step up and make a play? Now, I'm not entirely sure who called the timeout. We will see when they get back from the commercial break. It's a long-ass commercial break. It's a really long commercial break. Man, they are just... My goodness, they just... I think it's been 30 seconds, guys. It's been 30 seconds. All right. There we go. Somebody has a certificate of ownership of the Bears signed by Aaron Rodgers in the stand. That's hilarious. It's only a 1-yard loss on that previous play. It's 2nd and 11. And Aaron Rodgers' ownership of the Bears is now being shown on full display as he now has control of the ball and is a play action pass. Rodgers is going to throw it deep, and wide open is Watkins. Watkins doesn't have the speed, but he is run out of bounds by Jackson, and it runs out of bounds. Clock stops at 5:35. I'm not going to say that that's all she wrote, but that might have been all she wrote. That was a huge play. Watkins just ran right past Kyler Gordon. He just ran a deep crosser and ran right past Kyler Gordon. Ball plays beautifully by Rodgers right into Watkins' arms. And now it's 1st and 10 inside the 35, and Aaron Jones busts outside. Aaron Jones picks up the 1st down and more. Inside the 20, I believe. We are now under 5 minutes to go, and that might be it, fellas. That might be it. That long pass play to Watkins might have just been the dagger. Aaron Jones, he just busted that run outside, and it was like, hey, nobody's here. Man, oh man. It just comes down to the Bears not capitalizing on certain opportunities. Or not taking full advantage of opportunities. Man. Sound like a broken record, but man. It's a 1st and 10 for the Packers. It is 4 minutes and 54 seconds. Excuse me. Excuse moi. 1st and 10 at the 15 of Chicago. Watson in motion, and it is a pitch to Watson, and he gets hit hard by Eddie Jackson after a yard gain. Man, Eddie Jackson came up and just popped Christian Watson. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Green Bay. That's the second time they've run Christian Watson on the end around. But the Bears were able to sniff that one out. That's what I want to see the Packers use Christian Watson for a lot more. Because that's what you saw him do a lot at North Dakota State, of those end arounds. Play clock down to 2 for the Packers. They get the snap off, hand off to Jones, and he goes nowhere. Actually loses a couple. Jones in the backfield again for Chicago. Man, he's been all over the backfield. He's been everywhere in the Green Bay backfield tonight. 3rd down now and about 11. As we approach the 3:30 mark of the game. Play clock down to 1, and they're just going to call a timeout. Rodgers either didn't like what he saw, or they didn't have enough time and they got up to the line. But Green Bay calls a timeout as they go into commercial break with just under 3.5 minutes left to go in this ball game. Now, next week, I will be back here on YouTube.com for week 3 of the NFL season. Sunday Night Football game. That will be the, hold on 1 second, as I try and look up to make sure so I don't sound like an idiot. Yes, next Sunday, week 3, Niners against Broncos, right here on YouTube. Again, I will dive into more of the Trey Lance injury and how that could affect San Fran going on for the rest of the year. They are now back to the Jimmy G experience. They are now back to the porn star Jimmy G experience. And Denver, I will also dive into a little more about the Denver Broncos and their victory over the Texans, but I wouldn't necessarily classify it as a victory because they did not look good, especially on offense. The Broncos, they have some some things they need to work out for sure. But I will dive into more of that on Wednesday. As we now come out of commercial break. Now, it's not over yet, per se, for Chicago. They still technically have a chance, but they have no timeouts. 3rd and 11 for the Packers. Rodgers takes the snap, has all kinds of time. Oh, now he's running around a little bit. Throws a short to A.J. Dillon, who bobbles it, but he was able to re-catch it. But he's tackled at the 10-yard line, and they will send the field goal unit out. As we are having 3 minutes left of this bowl game. Damn, it looked like – I think I jinxed it. I really do think I jinxed it because it looked like we were about to get an interesting game when the Bears were driving. Then they turned the ball over, and the Packers, they just hit that big play to Sammy Watkins, and you just sort of got the sense of that was all she wrote. Oh, no, they're going for it? That can't be. No, they're trying to draw. You saw from Rodgers' body language that he was just trying to draw him off. And that's the second timeout for the Packers. And now they will kick the field goal. I don't know if y'all hear that. There are sirens going like a motherfucker out there. But yes, they will send the field goal unit out for Green Bay. 28-yard attempt. And the kick is up, and it is good. It's now a 17-point game. And that is it because it's now 2 minutes and 28 seconds left in the ball game. And it's a shame because I both expected this to happen, yet didn't want it to happen because of all the really great games we got, especially in the late window towards the end. I just sort of hope this was a little more competitive than it ultimately ended up being, but I can't really say I was expecting it to be ultra competitive. But yeah. Yeah. It went exactly how I expected it to go for the most part. Green Bay, it was going to take a while for them to get into a groove as there's a flag on the kick return. It's been a running theme for the Packers the last couple of years, where they start week 1 out looking terrible, and then they come out week 2, start figuring it out slightly, but still not entirely there. And then the second half comes in, and that's when they really kick it into gear. And penalties on Chicago, by the way, in the kick return. Yeah, it was the same thing last year with Detroit, where it was a game a little bit in the first half. Lions were sort of hanging around, and then second half, Green Bay found out they were Green Bay again, and then they kicked it in. The rest of the game sort of became a blowout. Sort of same thing here as Fields' pass intended for St. Brown was off, behind him and off. 2nd and 10. But yeah, So unfortunately, no, the Packers are not dead. Granted, it is just against Chicago, but no, the Packers are not dead and gone, unfortunately. Fields under some pressure, able to step up and escape it, throws it, and it is intercepted. It's intercepted by, who is that? Is that Rasul Douglas? I didn't get a good look at who picked it off. I think it was Rasul Douglas. And that basically sums up most of the night for the Chicago Bears offense. Get a good look at this, because Fields did a great job of escaping the rush. He stepped up, he rolled over to his right, and that was Alexander. That was Jaire Alexander. He sprinted over and picked that. That was a great play by Alexander. Oh, my goodness. The Packers get the ball again. Hand off to Dillon, and he goes nowhere. And that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Man, oh, man. That basically sums up the night for the Chicago Bears. One of these nights, we're going to get a competitive football game on Sunday night down to the wire. Hopefully it's next weekend, because it should be a good game. San Fran and Denver. I hope so anyway. I hope so. Unless Jimmy G morphs into his NFC Championship game form and Denver figures out their offensive woes. Yeah. Packers are going to come out of this with a win. They're going to be 1-1. Bears are also going to be 1-1. That's the thing about week 2, is that in games like this, both teams are going to come out with the same record, but one team has optimism while the other doesn't. The Bears had a nice high last week after starting the year off with a big win over San Francisco, and this was the game where they sort of crashed down to earth. 2nd and 9, Dillon fights for some more yards. It's going to be 3rd and 10. They're just going to wind the clock out now. Chicago's out of timeouts. There's no way for them to stop it. But yes, once we are going to be here, though, until the clock hits triple zeros. And then once it does, I will be signing off. Third and 4. They can't kneel it, unfortunately, because there's not enough. There's too much time for them to just kneel it out. Hand off to Dillon, and Dillon picks up the first down, and now they can kneel it out. That is a fitting way for the night for the Green Bay Packers to end. A.J. Dillon plowing his way for another Green Bay first down to seal the game. I mean, the game's been sealed, but you can never be too sure, I guess. And Chicago, just a night of missed opportunities, really. And the Packers eventually found their offensive groove, and the Bears just didn't. There's nothing really more to it, and that's it. They took a knee, and the teams are meeting at center field, and that is it. The Green Bay Packers win on Sunday night, week 2, over the Chicago Bears, 27-10. Packers with a huge bounce-back win after last week's disaster over Minnesota. and the Bears sort of crashed back down to earth after the high of winning in the rain against San Francisco. And that is it. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers still owns the Chicago Bears, despite some of us thinking that that would no longer be the case. But the more things change, the more things stay the same at the end of the day. But the game is over, which means my night is over. I have a long day tomorrow rewatching some of the games, and I will see you guys on Wednesday, barring another freak sickness. There we go. So I will be signing off. This is Double Diesel.